Hi everyone, welcome back to Spoilt Rotten. I am Juliet and today I'm going to be showing you how to make the gorgeous arcade earrings that I am wearing at the moment. I'm wearing one in the lovely Art Deco colourway that we have got a kit for, and I've got one in the cyan colourway as well that's also available as a kit. Let me just take this one out and show you guys what it looks like close up. There you go. Let me see if we can get the camera to focus on that. There we go. It's lovely and sparkly, and it's a kind of made with a beaded bead. It's from a pattern by the designer Puca, and it uses Arcos beads and sparkling crystals. It's very, very effective, and it's a nice way to learn how to make a beaded bead. And if you don't want to make a pair of earrings, you make these beaded beads and then maybe string them together, make yourself a necklace or a pendant or a bracelet, make yourself a whole set if you fancy it. It's really lovely, really sparkly, I think very festive actually, and I have really enjoyed making them. There is a free downloadable pattern over on the website. There are some limited edition kits as well, so if you want to grab yourself one of those, you'll need to be quick because they are limited edition. And yeah, I'm just gonna talk you through everything you need and hopefully answer any questions you've got about the pattern. And if you've got any questions, then leave them below and I'll do my best to answer them for you. So let's get beading. So these are the arcade earrings. They're a lovely three-dimensional shape that has a great structure to them. So I'm going to show you how to make this beaded bead that you make the arcade earrings with. Of course, you can make the earrings, but you can make several of these beaded beads and string them together to make necklaces and pendants and bracelets. Maybe like a lovely focal bead for a necklace. They'd look gorgeous like that. So I'm going to talk you through how to make these. We've finished them as in Puca's pattern with a little tassel with some beads at the end of it. They're a lovely, elegant design. There is a free downloadable pattern over on the website, so do head over to the website and download the arcade earring pattern. It also shows you on that same download how to make a slightly different beaded bead using only 3 sides. So you can make a different beaded bead a little bit smaller than this one too. So that's all on that same free downloadable pattern. Just search for arcade pattern on our website. So you're going to need some Arcos beads, and these are a 3-holed check glass bead designed by a lovely lady called Puca in France, and I hold them up here. Hopefully you can just about see they've got 3 holes in them. You'll need some 3mm beads. I'm going to be using 3mm fire polish. Those are the beads that sit on the edge. You can just about see them sort of shining there with the black ones. They're black, and you can just about see them on the edge of this Art Deco colourway. You'll need seed beads in size 15 and size 11. You'll need, oh, that's my dog's barking, somebody's at the door. Sorry about that. You'll need some 4mm Preciosa bicones. You'll need a length of chain that you'll use to make your little tassels with there when you're done. And you'll also need some eye pins, some head pins in order to attach your little beaded beads, your little beads to the bottom of your chain. And you'll need some eye pins, which is what you use to pop through your finished beaded bead to attach your beaded bead to the chain and to the earring finding. And of course you'll need some earring findings too. I'm going to be using a size 10 beading needle and some beading thread as well. So just use your favourite beading thread, will be absolutely fine with this project. So I'm just going to clear my workstation off, and then we are going to get started, and I will show you all of the stages that you need to make these lovely beaded beads. So to begin with, you're going to need an Arcos bead, and you're going to need some size 15 seed beads and the 3mm beads that you'll be using in your design. And you're just going to be using the holes on the either end of the Arcos beads. You're not going to be using the middle hole for this project. So I'm just going to start off by threading my needle through one of the end holes on an Arcos bead, and I'm going to take that down towards my tail of thread, and then I'm going to pick up a size 15 seed bead, a 3mm bead, and another size 15 seed bead, and then go through the hole on the opposite side of the arcos and pull tight, or pull it not tight, but pull it down towards my work, and you'll see that you'll get something that looks like that with your little 3mm round bead sitting there in the middle of your arcos bead, nice and neatly. And what we want to do now is tie a knot between our tail of thread and our main thread. So and it doesn't matter that it sits on the edge of the arcos bead, because you're going to hide that later on with your work as you bead. So I'm just tying a knot there like so, and I'm going to tie a double or triple knot, in fact, on top of that, and that's going to hold it nice and secure. So I'm just wrapping my thread around itself a few times so I get a really nice secure knot, pull it nice and tight. Okay, and you will end up with something that looks like that. And I'm just going to take my needle now, and I'm going to go around my piece one more time through all of those beads, so that I'm exiting from the edge of my arcos bead like so. Okay, and now what we're going to do is kind of repeat that, but without tying the knots. But before we do, I'm going to pick up a size 11 seed bead, take that down to my work, and let me just zoom in a bit, because I think it'll be easier for you to watch if I just zoom in a bit. There we go. And now I'm going to take another arcos bead, and I'm threading through from the convex side of that arcos bead, and then I'm going to add my 15 3mm 15. So 15 3mm 15, and then go through the hole on the other side of that arcos bead. Pull through, it will look like that, and I want to repeat that 2 more times, so that I'll end up with 4 sets that look like this. So it will be a size 11, then through the convex side of an arcos bead, then a 15, a 3mm and a 15, and back through that same arcos bead. We'll do that one more time. Go. Through that last arcos, and I'm just going to get rid of that tail of thread. In a minute I'll chop it off. There we go. And now we want to join this last arcos up to this first arcos with a size 11 seed bead. Pull it all tight, and it will look like that. So I'm coming out of, at the moment I'm coming out of this arcos here, but what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to thread through the 15 and 3mm and 15 on the side of my work here, on the side of my arcos. And I'm actually now just going to trim off this tail of thread because it's just starting to annoy me and get in my way. So let's just trim that off. There we go. So I'm ending, so I'm now just coming out of this set of 3 that sit on top of this arcos bead. And this is a clever bit about this pattern. It's really clever. I think that Puca is really clever to have thought of this. We're going to pick up some more arcos beads and kind of create a sandwich, if you like. So So to make this little sandwich that I talked about, we're going to be exiting from this size 15, and you're going to need 2 Arcos and a size 11. And I've positioned these Arcos beads like this because I want you to kind of do the same. It's going to make it a little bit easier for you working out which direction you're going to go through. So I'm going to go through this hole, then pick up the size 11, and then go through this Arcos from the convex side first. So I'm going to go through here, through there, and then through there. Oh, it's a jumpy one. Here we go. Okay, it's gonna look like that. And this is where you just want to position your beads on top of each other, on top of the ones below. So the first one's going to go there, and the second one there, like so. You'll have a little play as you go, and it will kind of make sense when you see the pattern too. And I'm going to hold them in place with my thumb and forefinger and join the second Arcos that I just added to the one below by going through the 15 3mm 15, and then back down through that same Arcos bead. It will feel a bit sort of odd to begin with this pattern, because it's at the end of the pattern that everything kind of comes together and really tightens up. So don't worry that it's kind of moving and not doing quite what you want it to. Just try and keep your thread tension as tight as you can, and you'll find that it will all come together when it all kind of zips up. But if you try and keep the beads where you want them to sit, that's going to make your life a bit easier. So I'm now going to pick up a size 11 and then another Arcos bead, and I'm going to go through from the convex side and then join it to the one below by going through the 15 3mm 15. Go back down through that Arcos that I just added. Repeat that one more time. And as I do, I'm just, as you see, I'm just kind of trying to tighten things up as I go. So I'll need an 11, then another Arcos bead again. I'm going through from the convex side. Take it down to my work. Sit it on top of the next one in the circle and go through, join up by going through the beads below. So that's, I'm going through the 15 3mm 15. And then go down through that Arcos bead, and we can now, you'll kind of guess what I'm going to do next. I'm obviously going to join it to the very first one I just added in this step by picking up a size 11. So I'm picking up a size 11 and going up through this first Arcos that I added in this step, and then I'm going to put it all tight, bring it up to the camera so you guys can kind of have a look. It's beginning to look 3D, and I want to just finish off the circle by, I'm coming out of this Arcos, I want to just go through the 15 3mm 15 that are part of that set. And then you'll find once you've done that, it's now kind of, and I pulled everything tight, it's now much more stable. I mean, it's still got some movement in it, don't worry about that. That will sort itself out as we add the rest of the beads in. But that's the hardest bit of this pattern. If you've got this far, then you are well on your way. So you have done the hardest, you've done the hard work now. Okay, so I am going to thread through an Arcos bead. doesn't matter kind of which direction you go in now, but you just want to thread through an arc-off bead, so you're coming out on the top, on the convex side of an arc-off bead, and then you want to thread through that next size 11 bead there. So I'm now coming out of a size 11 bead there on kind of, I'm going to call this the top of my work. And now I'm going to pick up 3 size 15s, a size 11, and 3 more size 15s, and take that down to my work and just go through the next size 11 in the circle. Pull tight, and it will look like that. And of course you want to do that all the way around this side, and then stitch through your work and do the same on the other side of your work. So you're going to do this 3 more times here, then stitch down through your beads, popping out through another size 11, and do the same on the other side there. So I'm going to carry on beading, come back to you guys when I have done that. So I need my 3 size 15s, my size 11, and my 3 size 15s, and then through the 11. So I've done that now, and you can see it kind of looks like that. Now if you look at it from that side, just like that, you get down from the top and you get that. Still kind of got quite a bit of movement to it, not super rigid yet, but don't worry, it does come together. So this is where we're going to start adding our lovely crystals. So to do this, I'm coming out of this size 11 here in between these 2 arc-offs, and I'm going to just thread up through 3 15s and an 11. So I'm coming out of an 11 that's sitting on the top of an arc-off bead there. Okay, so I'm coming out of this size 11 that's sitting right on the top of the arc-off bead. Pick up a crystal and go through the corresponding size 11 on top of the next arc-off bead. Okay. Give it a pull and it will sit. Like, these colours aren't showing up brilliantly in this video. Should do my best on when I edit it in a bit to try and get it to show up, but you can just kind of see that hopefully sitting there. You'd think red would show up. It looks so nice and bright here. So I need to do that again 3 more times. So I've picked up a crystal and I'm going to go through the corresponding 11 on top of the next arc-off. Repeat that 2 more times, of course. So you've got 4 crystals. And pull tight. And it looks like that. You can see those crystals sparkling there on top. Okay, so I want to do the same on the other side now. So I'm just going to stitch through my work. So I'm going to stitch. Again, it's still got a lot of movement in it, so don't panic. So it doesn't matter which kind of thread path you follow at this stage. I'm literally just threading through so that I'm exiting from one of those middle size 11s on the other side of my beaded bead, so that I can repeat what I just did, but on the other side. Da, da, da. There we go. So I can add my 4 more crystals in here in the same way that we just did. It's beginning to straighten itself out now and have a bit more structure to it, but the very last 15s that we add in a minute are the ones that really do make all of the difference. Okay, so this is the last crystal going in. There we go. I'm pulling tight. I like to pull my work nice and tight as I go. So now it's beginning to look very pretty. So this is where we kind of add the structure that's not quite there at the moment. So I am exiting from this size 11. I'm gonna stitch through so that I'm exiting from this Arcos bead here. I'm going through my 3 size 15s and then down through that Arcos bead if I can find its hole. There we go. Okay. So I'm now exiting from this Arcos bead here. And this is where I'm going to pick up a 15. This is the beads that are going to make all the difference, like I said. I'm going to pick up a 15 and go through the Arcos bead on the other side. So you've got now two 15s sitting on this side of the fire polish, and I want to repeat that all the way around my work. And it doesn't kind of really matter your thread path that you follow, but I find it easier to go through the 11s down through the Arcos, down through the Arcos, pick up a 15 and go through the next Arcos. So you've got two, I've got these two sides, this one kind of corner done, and so I need to kind of stitch around my work so that I'm ready to add my 15s all the way around. And this is where I say it doesn't really matter the thread path you follow, you just want to get there. All the thread you are adding to your work now is adding stability and strength to your piece. So you'll find it will really start to kind of hold its shape now. So I'm just going to go around adding in these 15s all the way around my work, and then I'm going to come back to you guys, show you what it looks like, and then show you how to put these together, these earrings together, to make this these lovely arcade earrings. But before I do, I'll just show you, I can really kind of feel that is now really beginning to stiffen up, and it's much stiffer kind of where I've added those than it is where they're not there. So I'm going to continue around adding all in those extra size 15s, and then come back to you guys, show you how to put it all together. So I've added all of those extra size 15s in all the way around, and as you can see, it's really nice and solid now. It's not moving at all really, it's just lovely solid beaded bead. And I'm exiting at the moment from this size 11, and I'm just going to finish off my thread now. So to finish off my thread, I'm just going to pick up the thread that runs down below 2 beads, between 2 beads. In this case it's a size 11 and an Arcos. And create a loop, go through the loop, and that ties a knot, and I'll repeat that again. Oh, I hit my camera with my needle then, sorry guys. And then I'm going to pull that knot inside this Arcos bead, and that will make it nice and secure. And then I can trim off my excess thread. There we go. And there is my lovely arcade beaded bead. And so now all we need to do is put everything together to make it into a pair of earrings. Of course, you'll need to repeat this for the other earring. But you can see how you could begin stringing these together to create a really gorgeous necklace. I think it would look stunning as a necklace if you had several of these strung together. There's something kind of almost Baroque about them, I think. They're really pretty. And they look so different, don't they, when you've got the white crystals in here or the red. I think it shows you the difference that the colour really makes to a piece. They just look very, very, very different. So to assemble them, you're first of all going to need your eye pin and need to thread on a crystal onto an eye pin, and then you want to thread that through your beaded bead. So you see it's gone through there, gone through there. And then I can add another crystal onto the top of that, like so. And I'm now going to grab my pliers, which I should have done probably before I started this, but hey, didn't think of that. And then I'll show you how to make your loop. Okay, so I'll need my round nose pliers, and I'm going to kind of grip them just above that bead that I just added, only just above it, and create a neat little loop there with my round nose pliers. If you're not used to creating wire wrap loops, it takes a little bit of practice, but once you get there you'll be fine. Okay, and then I can actually, if I want to, I like doing this, I like to grip my loop and then wrap around just to make that loop nice and secure. There we go. And then I can trim off my excess. And now I'm left with my beaded bead with a loop either side, which is a lot more useful. So to assemble, I'm going to add my chain to the loop on the bottom of my work. And I've got my chain here, and I've kind of folded it. So I want I've sort of folded it in the middle, with leaving one end long and one end short, because I don't want my my finished earring to have the same length on either side. You see how it kind of looks, it looks better if you've got one longer and one shorter. So I just folded that in the middle, and I'm going to use my chain nose pliers just to open out the loop that was on the bottom of that eye pin, and then I can pop one of those links onto that loop and then close it off again. There we go. And now we've got the chain on the bottom there, and this is where the little ball pins come in, because we want to add lovely little accent to the bottom of those. So I'm going to pop a bead onto each of my ball pins and create just a simple loop on the bottom of each pin. We have got, if you're not used to making these loops, we have got a video on our website and on our YouTube that is just dedicated to making these loops. So if you need any kind of a refresher for those, then do have a look at that, the wire looping video on our website. And I can now use that little loop to attach to the end of the chain. Close it off again. There's one. There is the other. There we go. And all that we need to do now is just attach the ear wire to the top of our beaded bead. So these ear wires have got little open loops on them. You can just eyeball the opening and bend it ever so slightly out to the side. Pop it on your loop on the top of your eye pin and close it off again. And there are your lovely arcade earrings. I'm going to zoom back out. There we go. So you can see my workstation and put them alongside each other. And so you can see the two different colorways. There you go. Really fun to make. Lovely use of the Arcos beads and crystals. I think these are really effective, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys making them in different colorways and maybe even stringing them together to make yourselves some lovely maybe matching sets. I think that would be gorgeous. Anyway, if you could leave your comments below, that would be wonderful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you get a moment, do head over to Google and Google Spoilt Rotten Beads and leave us a review, because it really does make a big difference to us. Thank you for watching. Bye guys.